I'm Crafty Kate and I run a small crochet business. On this channel we talk all things yarn and crochet. Welcome to another yarn stash busting video. I started this kind of series in my last video where I'm trying to use up my Premier Basix Chenille to make room for more Parfait Plush and Elise Veludo and Parfait Chunky and stuff like that. So I made this list before the last video of a bunch of different patterns I wanted to try and possible colors for what I wanted to make them in. And I did that by just like sitting in front of my cabinet and looking at the colors I had and writing them down and thinking about what animals or plushies would look good in those colors. So last time we made Palin the pony, the sea turtle, and Olivia the octopus. So this time I actually bought some new patterns for this one, so I'm very excited. So the first one is not a new pattern. It is the Succulent turtle. I will have all the patterns linked down in the description, and as we go, I will let you know the designers. I don't know them off the top of my head right now. I just have the pattern written down. But I want to make a succulent turtle, which is like a sea turtle that looks like it has a pot with a succulent growing on its back. So I've made that before, and I've sold all of them. So we'll make one of those. And then I got the Sleeping Dragon pattern from, I believe it's Nooks Hooks, and everybody has been raving about this pattern. I've been wanting to try it, and I have some colors that I think would be perfect. So I ended up buying that pattern, so we're going to try that one out. And then the other one is a pack of sharks that I bought. The shark patterns are by Jen's Crafty Creations. Yes, I got that right. So it's a great white shark, a whale shark, and a hammerhead shark. I have quite a few hammerhead shark patterns that I've done in the past from Shea Dew Cotton, so I'm not wanting to make that one, but I do want to do the great white shark and the whale shark, so I would like to make both of those. So we're looking at turtle, dragon, great white shark, and the whale shark. So those are the four things. So let's head over to the yarn cabinet and I'll show you the colors that I have picked out. We might have to get Wednesday to move. She is very comfy over there, but so I will show you the colors and then we will get started. Okay, so here we are over at the cabinet, and this is most of my Premier Basix Chenille. So for the Succulent turtle, I was thinking this sage color and then this pretty purple, which is mulberry. So we'll do the turtle and the succulent in this green, and then the shell pot thing in the purple, and then we'll also need some brown for the dirt, so I'll grab that. The light is not great over here, so I'll show you the colors again, but those two. We'll probably use the steel cut oats for the dirt in the pot, just because succulents kind of grow in sand type soil, so we'll use that. So there's that color combo. So there's the turtle. And then for the Sleepy Dragon, I'm thinking this seafoam green color with cream as the accent. I think that will be so cute. So there's the dragon. And then for the whale shark, I'm thinking this pretty blue. This one is Seaside. We have two skeins of that. So that for the whale shark. I'm thinking cream for the accent, just because I have so much cream. So blue and cream for that one. And then for the great white shark, I'm thinking this fun variegated color, just for something different. And then cream again for the belly. The tie-dye color is Ocean Swells, so that will be our little great white shark. So that will be a fun mix of colors. Okay, I'm back over at my desk with my colors. So here's the purple and the green for the succulent turtle, and then the sand color steel cut oats for the dirt in the pot. So this is the succulent sea turtle pattern from Happy Turtle Crochet. It will be linked down in the description. We're using Premier Basix Chenille, 6mm hook, and then I'm pretty sure I usually do 25mm eyes with these turtles. So I have two colors pulled for that. So here's the purple, I have this gorgeous purple glitter that I think will pop. Let's see. I think will pop really well on the green, but we'll see how that looks. So we'll try purple, and then I also pulled some silver that I think would be pretty. So we'll see once I get the head and the body done and can hold them together. We'll see what it looks like with those colors. So that is my plan. So I'm just going to get to work on this guy. I do have some updates for the end of the video regarding my Patreon and some projects we completed last month. So stick around till the end for that. I wanted to mention it so I don't forget. But I'm going to work on this turtle and I will check in with you as I go. Okay, I have the turtle mostly done. So here's the body with the legs all crocheted in. This is a low sew pattern. All you do is sew the head to the body. Everything else is crocheted in. I did not time myself on this one just because I didn't want to. When I time myself, I feel like I have to rush. So I just kind of crocheting at my own pace today. But anyway, so here is the turtle body and everything all done. And then I have the head made. One note about this pattern with Premier Basix Chenille specifically, you are working in the front loop to surface crochet on the petals. And with Premier Basix Chenille, because it's a little fuzzier, it's a little bit hard to see your stitches. So I do like to mark some of my front loops on the back of the shell here to help me see what I'm doing. And then the only other thing I change about this pattern for the head, I yarn under, so sometimes my round things end up kind of short, so I add an extra row in the head of the widest section where you do repeat rounds. I add an extra row just to make it a little bit more round. I haven't stuffed it yet, but you can tell with one less row it would be really flat and goofy. So I have one of each eye just kind of sitting on here so we can see what color looks best. So there's the silver, and then there is the purple. Ooh, that's tough. My favorite color is purple, so obviously I love purple. I just don't know if it's the right color of purple. I think I like the purple. But the silver is pretty cute. It's tough. That's a tough one. I think I'm going to go with the purple to tie it in. It's pretty cute. Okay, I'm going to do the purple. So I just have to stuff the head, attach the eyes, not in that order, and then we'll sew the head on. And I did notice on the last one I made, I think I had the head a little bit too high because or I stuffed it too much. The head was making the whole turtle kind of fall forward when it was sitting down. So I'm going to try to put it a little bit lower and not overstuff it so it's not too heavy. And I also like really stuffed the turtle body to make it a little heavier. So I'm hoping that balances it out. So that's the plan, and I will check in when he is all done. The first make for this video is all done. Here is the turtle. Gorgeous purple eyes. Like I said, these are 25mm eyes. Got him all sewn on there, and his head is not too heavy, so he sits nicely. I like to kind of flatten out all of the succulent petals or leaves, I guess. But I think he turned out so cute. These colors are so pretty together. I don't think the green was a full skein when I started, but I don't remember what I made with it. So here's what we have left. So that's a good stash bust. And then the purple was pretty much a full skein, so not quite as much used out of there. And then we still have our little ball of the steel cut oats. The sand is literally just like 2 rows in there, so didn't use much at all. But yeah, so our first stash bust is done. I think it's getting a little bit late. I'm sure you can tell we're losing the light. I think tonight I will work on making pieces for the rest of the things, the sharks and the dragon if I get to that. And then tomorrow we will finish up the main pieces and put everything together. So I will save the big put together parts for you guys, but I will try to get some stuff done tonight. Try to get everything done tomorrow. We'll see how it goes, but I will see you in the morning. Good morning! It is the next day and I am ready to get these sharks done. Like I said, it's a 3-pack pattern from Jen's Crafty Creations. It has a whale shark, a hammerhead shark, and a great white shark, and I'm going to be making the whale shark and the great white shark. So this is our great white shark colors and these are our whale shark colors. So last night I did work on this a bit and I got all of the fins done. It does look like there's going to be quite a bit of sewing for each of these, but I have all of the little fins done for each one. There is 5 total, 2 tail pieces, 2 side fins, and then 1 top fin for each one. So I have all of those done already. So I think I'm going to start with the great white shark. So we're going to keep working with the tie-dye yarn. So I'm going to get right into that and I will check in as I go, letting you know what I think of the pattern and anything I change. It does have a white cream belly, so looks like there will be quite a few color changes, but we're gonna get going and I will see you in a little bit. I have it up to where we need to put the eyes in. She recommends 18mm black safety eyes. I don't like that big of black eyes because they get scratched and they're just like impossible to keep. So we're gonna put some fun eyes on here. I think I like this blue, very shark looking, and these are sinker eyes, so I need to snap them down. She has you add the eyes after round 7, I believe, but because the eyes are so close to the edge there, I ended up doing round 8 before I'm going to snap the eyes down, just so I have room to get my hook in there without hitting the eye. I'm always afraid I'm going to scratch the eye with my hook, so I like to be a little bit farther away. So I did 1 extra round away from the eye so I can snap those down. I'm also hoping when I stuff it, I can make this a little pointier. It's a little bit flat probably because I yarn under, but he is looking cute so far with his little cream belly. So I'm going to snap these eyes down and then we will finish him up. I think we're just making basically the little torpedo shaped body and then we just sew on all the stuff. So far really quick and easy, very simple pieces and everything. So he's looking cute. I will see you in a little bit. Okay, I lied about when she was saying to put the eyes in. I misread the pattern. You're actually doing 3 rounds of what I thought was just 1, so I had that messed up. You actually go up to round 9 before you put the eyes in, so me thinking I needed to do round 8 was not right. I just needed to read the pattern better. Everybody writes patterns differently, and she does have the little parentheses that says 3 rounds, but it's at the beginning of the round instead of at the end where I'm typically used to seeing it. So I just kind of missed it somehow. So that is totally my bad. So I have frogged back because I started the next set of rounds that were shifting the color change. So I frogged back and I'm going to do it correctly now. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that she does tell you to put the eyes in at the correct time where you're past where the eye is going to sit. So if that makes sense. That's all my bad. She has all of the information in the pattern. I just have never made one of her patterns, so I missed it. But we're going to keep chugging along, and it will be much longer. Luckily, I noticed this at the, where I could still fix it and not at the end. He would have been really short and goofy looking, so I'm glad I noticed, and we're going to get him fixed up. Here is the little shark body. He's looking interesting. So all we have left to do is to sew all the pieces on. I'm very happy with the amount of yarn we used. This one's looking very small. Used a little bit of the cream. We're going to use this for the whale shark as well, so maybe we can use this up. Not sure. So because this is Premier Basix Chenille, the reason I'm trying to use it up is that it hurts my hands to work with it. So crocheting all those pieces last night, and then this is definitely starting to get to my hands. So we're going to take a break from crocheting and we're going to sew this guy all up. I was planning on making both shark bodies and then sewing, but I think we'll take a break and sew this guy all together, get him done, and then start working on the next one. So yeah, that's the plan. We're going to sew this guy together. We have the 2 tail pieces, the 2 side fins, and then the top fin, and then he is all done. So here we go. Okay, we have our first project of the day done, and I did time myself for just the sewing part. It took me 13 minutes to sew all the pieces together, so that's not bad at all, especially when it turns out so cute. I think sharks, there's typically some sewing just because of the direction the fins need to go, so 13 minutes isn't bad, especially when the little body works up pretty quick and all the pieces are very simple. So I didn't time myself. It was my first time making the pattern. Obviously, I made some mistakes, had to do some frogging, so it wouldn't have been accurate anyway, but I didn't change anything about the pattern. The only thing I was going to mention was the row behind the eyes, which we all know I messed up anyway, so there's nothing I needed to change about this pattern. It looks awesome. The only thing I might do next time, if I make it again, is start with fewer in the magic ring and do one more extra row of an increase round to make it a little pointier, but I think it's really cute the way it is, and he's just adorable. So I can't wait to make the little whale shark to go along with him, but I love this color choice. Tie-dye is pretty, makes him look like he's underwater with like the ripple effect of the sun through the water. Looks really cool. So there's that little guy. Love it so far. The whale shark is going to have a lot more color changes. He's got spots and stripes on his back that make him look really cool. He's got the really cool like open mouth. So this one might take a little bit longer, but I don't think it's much bigger. And like I said, I have all of the fins and everything ready to go. So shouldn't be much longer than this guy. So I'm going to get going on that, and I will check in if I have anything to note about the pattern, and we'll just see how this goes. Here's what I have so far. It's looking a little bit bigger than I was expecting, but that's okay. The way she does this little indent in the mouth is really cool. I will say with Premier Basix Chenille, like I mentioned with the turtle working in a back loop, it's very hard to see your back loops, but I was able to make it work. Looks like it turned out pretty good. It's very cool. I definitely learned something new. The color changes, I am carrying the colors across the back, so trying not to make them too tight, but that'll be fun to stuff around. So yeah, he's looking good so far. So now I think it's just pretty basic, making the shark shaped body with the color changes going down the back, so it should be pretty smooth sailing from here. Yeah, I will check in when I have him all done. We are up to the point of adding the eyes, and I have a pair that I want to use up, and I think they look pretty good. So we're going to use these yellow shiny disc ones. I think they pop really nicely. Very cute. So I'm going to snap those on, and then we're going to continue on. The color changes are looking awesome. I really like this guy so far. I can't wait to get him done. Here is where we are. Looking like a shark. So I'm very proud of the stash busting aspect of this project. So this is all we have left of the blue. And this is what we have left of the cream. So I am going to take both of these labels and consider them skeins gone, because once it's this tiny, I can't really keep the label with it. That's just how I do it. So I'm going to add these to June's skein usage for the month. So that's very exciting. And then all we have left to do on the shark is to sew on all the pieces, which should be about the same as the last shark. It's all the same pieces in about the same places. So it should be about 15 minutes to get this guy all done. The color changes definitely make this guy take quite a bit longer, but turns out so cool. You can see the color changes down the edges. I pretty much just followed the pattern for the color changes on the edges until the end. It started getting a little bit weird about right here. So then I started having to move them a little bit to keep them even with the belly. But for the most part, I just moved things over like one stitch and it was fine. And it looks fantastic. So that's all I changed, really. Everything else, I just followed the pattern. And yeah, we're going to sew him together and he will be done. This is a very cool pattern. And like I said, I learned something here. This would be cool, I think, if you did pink on the inside here. That might be neat, but I like it with just the white. If you look up whale sharks, they are the same color inside as they are on the outside. So it's very realistic. I like that. So I'm going to get to sewing and then I will show you when he is all done. The shark is all done and I absolutely love him. He turned out so cool. And like I said, it only took about 15 minutes to sew all the fins on. So here he is, all done. I love the way the tail is with the long top one and the short bottom one. He turned out so cool. Love all those spots. I love that you don't have to embroider them after. Big white belly. So cool. Let's do a size comparison. So the whale shark definitely is bigger, which is fine. They are in the wild too. But these would be so cute on a market table together. And if you made the little hammerhead shark to go with them, so cute, especially during Shark Week. I don't know when that is exactly, but it would be perfect for markets. They're both so cute. These are so much fun. So there are those two. And then the last pattern I'm going to do is that sleeping dragon pattern from Nook's Hooks. And like I said, I want to use this seafoam color along with our winter white. So we'll use up this last little bit that we had left over from the sharks and move on to that. And then I did decide to roll up my tie-dye ball just to see how much was left, and it's a pretty small ball. So I'm also going to add its label to my little bin for June's yarn usage. So very exciting. We got skeins down to little balls, always fun. So I do have to run to town today, so I'm not sure how much more I will get done, but I will hopefully work on the dragon some tonight, and I will check in when I get to that point. Good morning. It is the next day again. I have not started on the little sleeping dragon, so we're going to do that today. That is the goal for today, is to finish the sleeping dragon. So I have our two colors, and I'm going to pull up the pattern and start reading through it. I don't think it's a super difficult pattern, but I do know it's a little bit on the bigger side. I was watching Christine from What's Up Cupcake. When she makes them, she says it takes an entire skein of Elise Veludo plus a little bit more. Elise Veludo skeins are 100 grams, I believe, and these are 150, so should be able to get it out of this one skein. It sounds like it will use most of it, which will be very nice. And then we have the cream for the accents. So we're going to get going on that. And then a little bit later in the video, I got a package yesterday that I was not expecting so soon. So we will unbox that together. And then I have a couple of other updates to go over. I'm trying to keep reminding myself so I don't forget. But dragon first. So I'm going to get started on that, and I will check in when I have something to say about the pattern. I have read through the pattern and I am ready to go. I do already have a change that I'm going to make to the pattern. I think I was watching Robin from Knotting Hook Crochet the other day, and she makes these sleeping dragons, and she uses a different wing than the one from the pattern, and I'm going to do the same thing, but I am going to use the wing from Diddy Decks. So as you guys know, I've made hundreds of Diddy Dexes. I have the wings memorized. They're my favorite wings. I don't like accent colors on my wings because then you have more ends to weave in and it's just a whole mess. So I made some Diddy Dex wings in my accent color. So we have these. I like that they're a little bit smaller and won't cover up so much of the dragon, and they will add a lot more of the accent color to the project. So I made Diddy Dex wings. I did not even attempt these wings, so I don't have really anything to say. They look like perfectly nice wings. I just can whip these up in my sleep, so that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna start on the body with this color. This is a brand new skein, so it will be interesting to see how much we have left. So I will check in a bit. I have the head made up until where we're supposed to embroider the little sleepy eyes. It definitely is a much larger head than I was expecting. It's very wide. It's got these cute little picot frills though. It's looking good. I did have to move the horns and the picots over just one stitch to be in line with the nostrils, but I think it looks good. So we're going to embroider the little eyes and then we'll just continue making this little guy. We're on a roll. This yarn is a gorgeous color and it's soft, but it's kind of like chunky. I don't know if that makes sense, but it doesn't pull through the stitches smoothly, so this is a little bit rough to work with. It's like a soft, it's clean. It doesn't have like that sticky feeling. It's just chunky. I don't know how to explain it, but it's a struggle. So I'm gonna try to take my time and not hurt my hands with this guy because we have a lot to go, but we're chugging along. Okay, we are to the point of the dragon body is done. Here's what we have. So I did change one thing. I added 2 rounds at the end of the tail. I took it down to 6 and then did an extra round just to give it a little bit more of a point. I didn't want it to be too blunt. And it also needs to curl all the way over under the head like this. So I needed a little bit more. For some reason, mine was a little bit short. So we're gonna attach it like this, and then we do the little back stripe going all the way down and then attach the wings while we do that, it looks like. So I think we are done with this color, which we used a very good amount. This is down to less than half a skein, it looks like, which is what I expected, so that's fantastic. Great stash buster. This was all very simple. She has great descriptions and pictures for everything that you're doing. It's all no-sew up until attaching it here. And it's looking really cute. Look at those little frills and little sleepy eyes. He's super cute. And then I think with the cream stripe going all the way down, he'll be really sweet with these wings. Should be adorable. I'm excited to get him done. We're almost there. I just finished the little dragon and I am obsessed with how it turned out. It is too cute. So I love the Diddy Dex wing that I added. I love the shape of it and that it's all one color and kind of pops against the sage-ish green. I love the way that looks. And then this is supposed to hold a phone, I think. I'm filming with my phone, so I can't try it out, but I will see if that works and let you guys know maybe in the next video. But very cute, very cool, very simple. You just make the body all in one piece and then do this little surface crocheted on stripe, and you add the wings at the same time. So there are the wings. So cute. I love it. Love the way it turned out. Love how simple. I can't wait to have these at markets when I finally do another market. I think they are so cool. So that was a very fun one. Premier Basix Chenille, 6mm hook, embroidered eyes, obviously, super quick and easy, just one little line there. You could do like a sleepy eye with a point, add some eyelashes. You could do all kinds of fun stuff. You could do the eyes open, embroider eyes on there. Whatever you want, really. They're so cute. Love this pattern so much. Very well written, great pictures and descriptions and all that stuff. And it didn't take too long to make. I didn't time myself. But yeah, so cute. So there's that one. So that is all of the stash busting makes I have planned. Dragon, succulent turtle, and then the sharks. Let me know down in the comments which one was your favorite. And then I have some fun updates. So for my Patreon last month, I started my crafty community, which is where we have a monthly challenge, a monthly crochet along, and then I do free pattern Fridays twice a month where I pick some free patterns to make and review for you guys. So the first thing I'll show you is the second free pattern from Free Pattern Friday. So here's the little giraffe that I made. It's actually a puppet. Too cute. This is a free Instagram pattern from Crochet and two other designers that I can't remember off the top of my head. But I will have it linked down in the description if you want to go check it out. So cute and fun. So there's that little guy. Absolutely adorable. I definitely will be making more of these if I do markets. Some poppets on my table. So there's that guy. And then for our challenge for May, I did the same thing that Nick challenged me with, which was to make a pattern that you already have in your stash that you've never made before. So I did want to make a separate make for that because I made Hugo the whale for Nick's challenge. So obviously that counts either way. It was a pattern I had forever and made. Go check out that video if you haven't seen it. Hugo turned out amazing. But then I also, in the last video, made these little Olivia the octopus, and I had had this pattern for quite a while as well, so these counted towards my challenge. So a couple people in the group decided to take part, and the way I'm planning on doing it is choosing 5 photos from the challenge at random to share with you guys. So I have 2 to share with you this month. So here is the first one. I'll put a picture here. This is a beautiful peacock made by Christine. The pattern is by Crochet with Kim DE. So super fun make. I definitely want to check out this pattern. It looks so cool. So thank you, Christine, for participating in the challenge. And then here is our second one. This is a cute little turtle made by Kelly, and the pattern is from Morgan from LA Crochet, one of her cool turtles. So very cute. Love the colors of that one. And I love the way the legs are shaped and everything. So thank you so much, Kelly, for participating in the challenge. It was a lot of fun. And then for our other part of the Patreon is the crochet along. So at the beginning of the month, I have everyone give me ideas for what they'd like to make, and then I pick some patterns and we have a poll and we vote on what we'd like to make. So the pattern that won the vote was this goofy little monster key fob holder. So the little mouth opens and then it's like a keychain sort of thing. So your key fob goes inside there and it has this that pulls it. So this was a free YouTube tutorial that I found by, I think it's Yay Crochet. So we made some of these and they were super fun and gave us all a laugh. So you can tuck your key fob back down in there, maybe. And then you just have this goofy little monster keychain. So that was a lot of fun. I definitely would not have chosen this myself, but I'm glad we made it. It was interesting, but yeah, it turned out so cute. And this is acrylic yarn, so I'm not used to using acrylic yarn, but so fun, so cute. So thank you, Patreons, for choosing this and making it with me. It was a lot of fun. Okay, and then the last little update I have is the mail that I got yesterday that I was not expecting to get so soon. So this is from Max Carpet Bag Works. They sent me a crochet hook case, finally. I'm so excited to have this. So let's get this open real quick. Always comes in one of these nice little bags. I have used these bags for stuffing before. They have a little drawstring on them. So fun. I'm so excited about this. Here it is. So this is one of their Shining collection colors. So it's the carpet from the movie The Shining. They have two different ones, and obviously I love this one because it has purple in it and it's going to match my other bag perfectly. So you open it up and it has all these little pockets for your crochet hooks, Ami sticks. It's got a bigger pocket for maybe like a bag of your little needles and stuff. I have some plans for this, so I'm thinking I will get it all set up and show it in my next video again so you guys can see how I'm going to use it and how I'm going to organize stuff in here. I have some ideas I saw from April from the Cozy Buckeye, how she organizes her stitch markers and her needles and stuff. So I have some stuff ordered to get that done, but I am so excited for this and the fact that it matches my other bag with the purple. So stay tuned for an update on this in the next video for how I set it up. But I will have a link down in the description if you want to go check out their crochet hook cases in the meantime, and a coupon code for 10% off. So definitely go check that out if you are interested. They have tons of gorgeous colors and they're like velvety soft and so pretty. So excited for this one. Check it out in the next video. I will get it all set up and we will be using this a lot. So I think that is all I have for this video. We definitely went through some yarn this time, which was very satisfying. Like I said, let me know down in the comments which make was your favorite, and let's do a little shark emoji if there is one down in the comments for making it all the way to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!